videos on this channel. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zubycoco, and in today's video I'll be showing you the easiest top you'd ever make in your entire life. This top I use just 1.5 yards of fabric and a bias tape. I would also like you to join me on Instagram. I'm also trying to grow my Instagram just like I'm trying to grow my YouTube. So please join me on Instagram at Zubycoco __. I'll leave the handle right here. If you want to see how I make this top, stick around to the end of this video. If you find it useful, please give it a thumbs up, share this video with your friends and family, and I'll see you in my next video. This top, I'll be using this lovely Akosombo print, a yard of it, and then this plain brown Daviva fabric. So you want to fold your 1 yard into 2 and then fold it into 2. At the shoulder point I marked about 17.5, and at the bottom of the top I marked 15 inches. For the neck, I'm cutting out the neck now. For the neck I just marked 3 inches all the way around, and it's the same measurement I'll be using for the front and the back. So this is a very simple top, and there we have it. Our neck is already ready, so I'm just going to use a bias tape to finish off the neck of the top. Basically I just used fabric and bias tape to make this top. So once we're done determining how much bias we'll be needing, we're just going to pin the bias on the neckline, and then we'll stitch all the way around. Let me know if you'd like a separate video on how to install the bias tape, but this video was not sped up, so it will show you how to do that. Once you get to the end of the bias tape, you join the two ends together and then stitch, and then you want to sew down, or you want to clip the curves of the seam you've joined together. You want to be careful not to clip into the stitches, and then you top stitch at the end. Our seam is looking nice and good, so you want to fold the edges of the top. Now I told you this was going to be a super easy tutorial. I'll be doing a double fold for the both ends of the seam, or the raw edges. I'll be doing a double fold. It's pretty easy working with Ankara fabric or African print fabric because of the texture. It's usually cotton, a thicker texture of cotton, so it's easy to work with. So this can be a very easy beginner friendly tutorial for you, my beginners. And for those that are advanced, this should just be like a piece of cake. So the next thing we want to do is to cut our Daviva strips or Daviva fabric into 4 strips. I cut it as long as the length, which is 36 inches. The length of Daviva should be about 45 inches. I cut as long as the length, and then I divided into 4-inch strip in terms of width. So I have 4-inch strip by 45 inches. Yes, so I'll be joining each of that together. One will be for the front area of the top, and one will be for the back area of the top. So this is going to be our belt. We're going to go ahead and then to find out the center of our top for the front, and for the back we do that by making a fold and then marking with a chalk or whatever it is you can use to mark. You can also pin at that point just to show you the front and the back. Then we take the strips that we've made, that we've joined on our sewing machine, and then attach to the center of this top. If we already had very long strips, we would not need to join, but because I want the strips to be as long as, because it's supposed to make a wrap from the front to the back, since it's a wrap top, is the reason why I had to join in. Next thing I'll do is to take my strips and fold from the opening to from the end points, and then I'll flip. You're going to see better when in our next clip. So we're going to try to make a belt, but we'll leave the center where we're going to attach the top and the belt together open. This is basically it. This will help us to have a nice and clean finish, and no stitches hanging around looking untidy, especially if you don't know how to do a nice straight stitch on your fabric when you're sewing. Forgive the huskiness of my voice. I'm just waking up from my sleep, and it's the morning here in Nigeria, 5 a.m. to be precise. Anyways, we're going to take our belt and then attach to the center of the top. So we're going to, you can see what I did here. The opening is what I will now be joining. So you want to make sure that the exact opening is the length of the bottom of the top. So this way you have a nice finish. What I failed to mention is that you can also iron the seams on fold for the places that you're going to attach, just to help guide you if you are not very accurate when it comes to sewing. You can make a fold at the seams, these places that I'm joining, with an iron. That way it will give you a guide on how much you need to take in. Let's say you want to use like a half of an inch seam allowance or a quarter of an inch seam allowance. You can use your iron to just make that mark or that fold with half of an inch or a quarter of an inch seam allowance, whichever one it is that you want to do. This is what it looks like after sewing. I started the sewing from the back, so I'm going to finish off from the front by doing a top stitch.